Well, comment on the channel here was how come I was filing on that. I got them new piston rings on that piston right there, and I got them bearings fits down in there, and one on each side of this thing. And they do mismatch. Just, you know, you're gonna know this for real, but the grease groove goes opposite of each other. That way you get some grease around there where you might not. And they don't have no grease holes in them, no hole in there. So, that being the grease comes in the end of the crankshaft over here, comes down through here, and comes out in the middle of this crankshaft. Now, I was over there polishing that up. It's got a couple of rings that goes around this way. The rotation of the flywheel, it has no cross things on it, but it's really good. This is a good crankshaft. So, and the reason I got down here, I'm going to fit it to this. I'm going to fit this. I'll show you something. I'm going to fit this rod to this crankshaft out here on the workbench. I'll put it all together with the bolts and the shims and all in there, and adjust it up and rotate it around and fit it. That way when I put up in that crankcase right there, I can get on with the project. I don't have to be fidgeting around in there. I showed you, and that comment being was, why did I file these corners off on these crankshafts, you know, and the rod also. Well, you know, it may just be that when they machined the thing, they left it in that state. But you see, there's a, well, when you're looking at that, there's a little burr, a little edge, a little sharpness that bites to this side over here. On where it goes around, anywhere it's at, anywhere it's machined at. So, and the reason it's important to take that off, also when you, and that's what I've been doing. Right over there, we'll look at that just in a minute. Man, it's going to be a project. But when you clean these parts up, you know, you've got them in a solvent over there, and you're cleaning them up with a scrub brush and all, you know. And you clean it up, and then you blow it off with the air hose, you know, you dry it really good, and it's ready to use. If you leave it here till tomorrow, it'll have oil seepage all around that little rollover. And if you get to picking at it, anywhere, especially in a hard to get corner, so if you get to picking, see that? There's some dirt. That little rollover, that's where that your sand particles and any hard grease or any contamination is going to accumulate. So if you file them impressions away from them, I've done already, went over this, but there is, I didn't get it finished. So I'll take it back over to the vise, and Okay, we'll fit that bearing now. I'll take that over and clean it up. And after it's all said and done, I think that piston right there is about as good a piston as I've ever had. It's really good. The wrist pin's good. Some math or something involved in it. But, see, all these started out life is the same. And you can see, when you look at it, that they don't have no sidewire at all. Very good this way. But the outside, and you can see how shiny they worn. And these was a slash cut, so they probably come in the engine. The engine be rebuilt, so they may have replaced these. But at any rate, when you look at them, see, it's really skinny right here, and it's really wide right in there. So, but not too bad. It's actually pretty even wear all around that cylinder in that engine. So, I fit them bearings now. On the way to assembling, on the way to put that engine back together, that's where I'm up to right now. Got that piston in there, that new set of rings, got them new Babbitt bearings in both sides, and got the caps adjusted on the crankshaft rod there, big end. So, you know, they're worn. You know, this is an old engine. You know what I mean? It's got some worn parts on it. So these here adjusted out really good as far as the shims and all. And it's got some thin ones in there, so you could actually take a shim out and adjust the bearings. Never will need be. I say that, but the engine needed it when I got it. So there's a possibility you would wear enough to take a shim out. And most of the time, if you adjust a little bit, as per the directions on Babbitt bearings, kind of adjust them on the loose side a little bit. That way, you can actually tighten the bolts up a little bit more torque, I guess, and take up a few thousandths if you need be before you have to take a shim out. But breaking an engine in, it's not out of line to remove a shim. So, but you know, it's a turning, operating, I guess you call it short block now, and I've not adjusted the two bearings, and I'll go ahead and knock that out there. But you know, you can look back in a video I done a long time ago about adjusting them bearings right there. But well, yeah, a new entry. It just go ahead and log this in. Star date today. You know, it's like, well, I lied. To make a short story, make a 4-day, 5-day adventure, a short story to bring you up to what I've got and ask maybe some advice, let's call it, as to what I should do with this engine. And the intent is to put it in a 1963 Chevrolet Impala in Q out there. So, and this is what it was. It came by way of an estate sale that, to rephrase that, an estate sale buyout. You know, like I say, Eliza just bought the whole place. You know, everything. We'll see what does it look like in there. Now I have 906 heads that came with this. I'm under the impression that this is a crate motor. This one being made in Mexico. It done already says it up there on the front. I think that makes it all the worthwhile to have it in that car. But the number on the block, it's an 036 block right here. Go back number on the back there. And but so far we have a timing chain. The question is, on them 906 heads, does on this they're Vortec heads. They're not drilled in the center there for the manifold. So I understand that I'll have to have a manifold. But this oil pan right here, this is you can see up in yonder what it is. Oh yeah, it's clean. It's new. And the story is that I know nothing about this engine. Only what we're looking at is all I know about it. So it appears to be brand spanking new. It's a 350, it's a 4-bolt main, 036 casting number. So the pistons appear to have never been ran, but the contradicting or the question for me is, so it's a 4-bolt main, 350 crate motor. It's got the oil pump already installed, you know, all new bolts. But the oil pan was, I did take the oil pan off and look in there prior to making the video here, but it was finger tight. The oil pan was on the engine finger tight. So other than that, I don't know anything about it. But the expansion plugs, you know, it's sprayed like it was assembly line, and they're very clean. You can't tell they've ever been used. But the engine itself, the pistons has been ran. There's soot on the pistons. The valve lifters has been in there because there's like moly or something, grease remnants of it, but it's very, very clean. Very clean. And it's a 166 036 Hincho in Mexico. made down south of the border down there, you know, makes it all more the cool factor. I'm good with this block right here. I just need to know about the cam to go in it. I think it's a 242 if memory serves me right. But you know, looking down in yonder, everything looks like it's never been ran. And one of the other questions, leave a comment down there, is what kind of oil filter? Does it take a bypass oil filter? You know. So, but using the cam I've got, I'll put the number there. If I use that cam with that 906 head, will the valves hit the piston? It does have them dish pistons, remember. But yeah, that's what I'm working with. So leave a comment from here in Middle Tennessee. So yeah, I went over this whole engine with this, that's one of them X-Acto knives with one of them half round blades in it like that. And you can see I've sharpened it. It's not hardly half worn away. But I done already scraped the paint off the engine and all and primered that. And just now, set to that task and clean the paint off this flywheel. Okay, I'll go ahead and, that's 80 grit. I'll go ahead and finish out sanding this flywheel with this 80 grit. And I'll prime it quite heavily. And then I'll scuff it down with some 220 probably. See what it looks like. But, you know, I've just been a short amount of time here on this by scraping the metal like 100%, and it's like you do it 4 times. When it's like you're shaving that paint right off, rust, whatever's on there. When this is a carbon steel blade right here, and whatever's on that metal right there, you can shave it right off. And it's hard enough to get in there and break loose some of that cast and sand that was left on it from when it was made. But I've done went over these right here. So, but we'll finish scuffing them down there. Not to move around, like do this part right here complete before you go to the spoke, so you keep count of what you're doing. But this right here is a McCormick Deering. It's a Type M. 1923, I think it is. I got up there in Portland, Indiana last year, down there at the show, not the swap meet, at the show time, and it was on the back row back there, and Lige done already hawked it out back there and brought it to my attention, and it was in a package deal with that John Deere over there. They're about the same condition, I might add, worn out. But, you know, the only redeeming part of it is it actually is a Bosch type Magneto, which, you know, they have some kind of scarcity, but not much. I have 2 more of them over there. So, you know, it's not no big deal. But, yeah.